Hello and welcome back to Suspended Fanimation. I'm your host, Dennis Bithoulkas, and it's time for San Diego Comic-Con 2022 news. Um, welcome everybody. I'm actually still trying to adjust my camera a little bit here because silly me, I didn't do it beforehand, and now I'm just kind of looking at it. I'm like, yeah, you guys don't want to see that shit on the sides and top and whatnot. So, uh, let me take care of some business first. Then we'll get down to it. If you like what you see here with all the mistakes and everything, like, share, and subscribe. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. YouTube takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible. The one of it is my vast reader library and pops it up here just for you. And if you like what you see there, hit that subscribe button down below there. And if you're feeling like gambling, you can hit that bell down below, and YouTube may or may not notify you when I come on live again. So go over to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule. I put it up every week, a new one every week. Also, I have all the links to my social media there and all the links to my pages as well. So, as you can tell from my background, no, I am not at San Diego for San Diego Comic Con. I did not get a 2020 badge, which rolled over into 2021, which rolled over into 2022. So no, I didn't get a badge. I also did not get a press badge. Um, and quite honestly, with the way COVID's been going, I don't know if I really want to be in that big of a crowd inside. Outside, I would have been okay, but inside. I just also remember every year, everyone gets what's called con crud. If you go back and take a look at one of my old videos under Comic Con, under the playlist Comic Con, it's the Comic Con Survival Guide, and it talks about con crud and things like that. And yeah, everyone gets something there, and yeah, I'm not. I can't say that I'm unhappy that I'm not there. So Ah, yeah. But anyway, you're not here to listen to me bitch about that. Let's get to some of the stuff that's been happening. There's a lot of news that's been coming out from Comic Con, not a lot. So Marvel is saving some of their juiciest stuff, of course, for D23, which is going to be next month. Yeah, and I almost bought tickets to D23, and I'm like, nope, I still don't want to be in a room full of people that are going to be most likely infected, and yeah. Anyway. And you've probably heard this before. I'm going to lead off with this one. You've probably heard this news before, but the Snyderverse is dead, according to Jim Lee. They are not going to move forward with the Snyderverse, they being Warner Brothers. And all I can say is I hope this time it's actually really the case, because no one really wants to fucking see that shit anymore. It's there is a few uh small contingent of bots out there that want to, see this stuff, but nobody real wants to see it. Um, yeah. And also this news of Jim Lee coming out and saying that the Snyderverse is dead. I'm kind of wondering if this also is going to put the Ezra Miller Flash movie in jeopardy now, because of all his antics. And maybe this is the first kind of warning shot or shot over the bow, if you will, of them canceling that or shuffling it over to HBO Max. I don't know. I mean, right now with Discovery Plus buying out HBO and Warner Brothers, if you will, um, they want to recoup $3 billion. I was wrong. I said 1.5 billion. It's actually $3 billion they need to recoup in losses. And Zaslav, who is the head of Discovery Plus, is slashing the shit out of everything right now. I could not see him slashing this movie, considering all the money that they've already poured down the drain on it. I want to say it's somewhere in the neighborhood of 150 million right now, maybe 200 million. So they want to recoup their money off of that, obviously. So they're going to probably stick it out in theaters, and that's probably going to be the bad move. But anyway, I don't know what they're going to do with that right now. They could stick it on HBO Max, but I highly doubt it, because again, like I said, all the money that they've poured into it. So I highly doubt that they're going to just cancel it. And that'll be the last gasp of the Snyderverse, because Ezra Miller was a big fan of the Snyderverse, And so that's what he wanted. He co-wrote this script, so he wanted this set in the Snyderverse, and obviously it is. Yeah, there you go. So that's the big news on that one. Sci-Fi has renewed Resident Alien for a third season, which is great. It's coming back August 10th for season 2.5, which I am going to be covering. But we got, news already that it's been renewed for a third season, which is a miracle because it's over at Sci-Fi, NBC Universal, and NBC Universal cancels shit just as badly as, HBO Max is cutting stuff right now. So there you go. We also got a trailer for Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves. Now, actually a pretty damn good trailer, I have to admit. It was fun. Chris Pine, of course, is starring in this. And it's fun. It reminds me of old D&D campaigns that, back in the day. It actually got me looking up, online D&D games and stuff like that, and taking a look at that again, because it's been years since I've played D&D, but yeah, the CGI looks really good for it too. I agree with you, CBM. It looks really fucking good. And the storyline looks fun too. It just looks like they're having a fun time. It's like, okay, what do you do when you're going to talk about a plan in D&D? You go to the tavern, and that's what they do. They go to the tavern to go talk about the plan. They accidentally unleashed evil across the land. It happens. That's what the DM usually does. Like, you accidentally unleash some evil, you need to contain it. And that's kind of what the quest usually is. So it's usually a fuck up on your party's part that you have to fix. And that's one of the things that's kind of cool about this. They are kind of following what people who've been playing D&D all along wanted in a movie. So plus I saw the gelatinous cube, the owlbear, a few other things as well. So that's actually kind of cool as well. So great looking trailer. I'm looking forward to it now. Before I was just kind of like, whatever. Dungeons and Dragons movie, don't care. Because all the other iterations that have come before it have been just really piss poor. But this one actually looks a lot of fun, like a lot of fun. Sorry, my nose is itchy all of a sudden. I don't know what's going on. Probably dog hair floating around here, Disney is in talks with BBC to stream the latest Doctor Who series on Disney Plus. So that's kind of big news, honestly, to have BBC and Disney working together to bring Doctor Who to streaming on Disney Plus. Yeah, that's actually a really big thing. And of course, they have a new Doctor Who that's coming through this new series. Um, I honestly I can't pronounce the man's name. I'm sorry. I'm gonna murder it. But yeah, they're gonna be doing a new Doctor Who in a new streaming service. I guess BBC America really is not taking off, especially the streaming service portion of it. It was mainly a cable mainstay, and now they are realizing that people in the United States are just pretty much torrenting it and doing it that way because it's easier. Um, what else do we have? We also got a Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power trailer. We got that came out. And this is coming out on September 2nd, by the way. And yes, I am going to be covering it. It's going to come out on Amazon Prime. Um, it was an okay trailer. I mean, it didn't wow me by any means, not like the Dungeons and Dragons trailer did, but it's passable. I mean, of course, I'm going to cover it. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to cover it. So we'll see. And I think it's going to be a weekly series. I released weekly, I should say, not dumped all at once like everything else is. At least that's what I'm hoping they're doing. Kind of like what they did for The Boys, what they've done for Invincible, things like that. I'm hoping that's what they're going to be doing with this as well. And speaking of Invincible, we haven't heard anything yet about season 2 when it's going to be released. They're working on it. Last I heard something is they said either the end of this year or the beginning of next year is when season 2 for Invincible season 2 is coming out. So hopefully they release something during Comic-Con, and they being Amazon, and say something about it, because that would be awesome if they would do that. Disney Plus on August 10th, we're gonna have I Am Groot, which is a 5 mini episodes that come out. It looks pretty cute more than anything else. It's the adventures of little Groot, animated, CGI and all that stuff on his little adventures, and it looks pretty fucking funny, quite honestly. And I think this is in the vein of the Star Wars shorts that they've done. If you haven't been on Disney Plus and kind of perused what they've got there, they have a section of Star Wars shorts, like 3 to 5 minute short, animated episodes of different characters, things of that. I think that's what they're doing with the Marvel now, is they're testing the waters to see if they can do the same thing with Marvel. And that way, in between both the TV series and the MCU movies, they can keep interest in these characters going by having these little shorts, if you will, animated shorts, which looks good. I mean, it looks like a lot of fun. So that's going to be out August 10th. There's, like I said, there's a lot of stuff that just kind of got released there. 2024, we're going to see Spider-Man Freshman Year, which is an animated series coming to Disney Plus. And Charlie Cox, who's plays Daredevil in the Netflix series and now the Disney series, is going to be voicing Daredevil in that animated series. So that's actually some pretty big news as well. Of course, 2024 is a ways away. And of course, it's going to be taking place. It's a freshman year, which means it's a prequel to the Spider-Man movies. That's what we've got going on. So, excuse me. Oh my god, that's just driving me nuts. Whatever is floating around here. What else do I have? There is some casting news. We have an obscure character casting. Park Seo Joon is going to be playing Novar in the Marvels movie, which is just an obscure fucking character. So there you have that. That was released and kind of thrown away there. Oh, some big news. As of today, again, if you have Disney Plus, you can watch Logan and both Deadpool 1 and Deadpool 2, all the rated R versions of those on Disney Plus. So they've released them there, which means that they are now getting ready to most likely do Deadpool 3 as a rated R Deadpool 3 if they're releasing the rated R stuff on Disney Plus. We already know that they put the PG-13 stuff up. There actually is a few rated R movies already, I believe, on Disney Plus, and you have to activate the get rid of the parental controls and all that kind of stuff so you can actually see them and whatnot. And you have to actively go in there and do it. It's kind of funny, but still, you'll be able to see all the rated R movies that are there, and it's well worth it. It's well worth doing that. Hopefully, we're going to get some more of the Fox movies in there, and I think they're going to be moving over to Hulu anyway for some of the movies. I don't know exactly what they're doing over at Disney Plus, if they're going to meld that whole Fox library into Hulu, if they're going to bring it over to Disney Plus, or what they're going to do, because it's more than just the Marvel movies at Fox. There are other iterations as well. You don't have to unlock it in Canada? Okay, well, you Canadians are special, eh? Oh man. So it's kind of funny. I got a text from John Wick, number 4. And basically all they did was they sent me this weird picture of Keanu Reeves sitting amongst a whole bunch of candles. And I was like, all right, that sounds cool. So John Wick 4, I guess, is getting ready to start their campaign as well. They just chose, the week of Comic-Con in order to do it, which seems about right. I mean, everyone's going to be doing, something like that. What else do we have here? Like I said, there's a whole hodgepodge of things that are out here that are going on. Oh yeah, the Acolyte. So we finally got word about the Acolyte. We had casting for the main character, and we found out that the Acolyte actually takes place 100 years before the Phantom Menace. So it takes place during the High Republic, or the end of the High Republic, if you will, and it's going to basically kind of posit the question or answer the question of how a Sith was able to make his way into the Senate and undetected by Jedi. That is what this is all going to be about, most likely. So it's most likely going to be Darth Sidious's story and how he rose to power, that kind of thing, because we all know that, he's long lived and blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, yeah. I don't know if I'm going to be really into that, but who knows? We'll see what happens when it comes out. So, yeah, we got that to look forward to. Also, The Walking Dead. So they did a trailer for the final couple episodes of The Walking Dead, which no one really cares except for people that are still watching that. The Rick Grimes movie that they've been teasing all this time is now a Walking Dead TV miniseries, is what this is now. So it's now a Walking Dead TV miniseries about Rick Grimes, what happened, how he went to I think the new city or whatever it is, and blah, 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 blah. Okay, great. It's still on AMC's paywall, and I'm not going to go through their paywall and try and watch it. So I'm over that. I'm over, I'm over Walking Dead. I have been for a while now. I don't need to watch it. So yeah. We did get some news about Marvel's What If Season 2. That's not going to come out until 2023, the beginning of 2023. And it's going to have all new heroes in it as well. That's going to be on Disney Plus, of course. And so the trailer actually features Hela, Shang-Chi, Red Guardian, Yelena Belova, Hawkeye, Icarus, and a Road Warrior version of Agent Jimmy Woo, which just sounds kind of interesting. And of course, a little more of Agent Carter is what we're going to get there. And it looks like it's inspired by Neil Gaiman's 1602 comic run. If you've never read the 1602 comic run from Marvel, read it. It's actually really kind of cool. It's kind of like a what if Shield ended up being invented in 1602 by like Da Vinci and Michelangelo and all these other Renaissance scientists and artists, and it's fairly cool. And then you also have the Marvel counterparts of like Mr. Fantastic, Doctor Doom, all that kind of stuff, but in 1602. So yeah, it's really kind of cool. So I'm looking forward to that at least. Also we got that X-Men 97, which is a animated series again on Disney Plus, which takes place, if you remember the old X-Men 90 series, this is actually going to be more of that, but intentionally made to look like the 90s series. I think they're bringing back the entire crew that worked on it. So it's going to be called X-Men 97. And that one, I believe, is coming out next year as well, if I'm not mistaken. I'm actually scrolling. Yes, fall of 2023. So there we go. So it'll be streaming exclusively on Disney Plus in fall of 2023. Also, Marvel Zombies is getting its own series as well. And that is going to be coming out in 2023 as well. I'm actually looking forward to that too. Hopefully, they're going to do the Marvel Zombies from the comic, not the What If. The What If, made the zombies dumb. The ones from the comic, it's a little more complex. CBM says it's going to have both Kate Bishop and Katie from Shang-Chi, two Kates that are archers. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I didn't see the trailer for it. So I've been at work all day. So that's my excuse on that. I've been culling a lot of things from the interwebs to find things here and there. The Wheel of Time is going to return for a third season. Hopefully, we'll get the second season sometime soon because I don't know when that's going to happen. But yeah, we got word that we know it's been renewed for a second season, but it'll also return for a third season, is what's going to happen there. So the Wheel of Time was good. It wasn't bad. It had some stuff that was a little bit on the boring side, but I kind of hoped we'd get a little bit more things here. So I don't know. I'll cover it. Sure, why not? I mean, it wasn't too terrible. I do know Marvel Zombies is going to be rated MA. Yes, it's going to be rated for gore, is what it's being rated CBM. So again, that's your rated R stuff. Why Disney Plus is kind of doing that, so they can actually move into a little more adult material, if you will, with the Marvel universe, which they need to do, honestly. So we're looking right now at what? When was Iron Man released? 15 years ago, somewhere around there, 16 years ago. And all the kids that kind of grew up in this MCU world, say, from 10 years old and on, are now in their 20s, going towards their 30s here, and you want to, of course, expand your audience and keep them as well by, you know you can still do kids related shows or kid centric shows, if you will, your Miss Marvel, if you will, and you can also do adult related Marvel shows as well, and TV and movies and things like that. You can do both. There is world enough room enough in this world for both of them, and luckily Disney is actually moving forward with that. So that's a smart thing to do. The Powerpuff Girls and Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends are going to return to TV as animated series. There's also the live action Powerpuff Girls TV series on the CW where they're grown up. That's still in the works, which is, God help me. I don't know why. But yeah. Um, oh, man. But yeah, McCracken, who of course has done, he's the one who actually did both of these. It's Rob McCracken, Craig McCracken, excuse me, Rob McCracken. That's an old joke, by the way. Craig McCracken is he created both of those series, Powerpuff Girls and Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. He's going to be working on this as well. So yeah, that's going to be coming back to, I want to say it's probably going to be HBO Max because HBO Max owns Cartoon Network. So we'll see where we go from there. Yeah, the script was hilariously bad. So the pilot supposedly was so bad that even the CW exec said, no, we can't air that. That's for the live action Powerpuff Girls movie. Chloe Bennett, who plays, Blossom in the series, dropped out because now she is actually going to be playing Quake in the MCU again. But this time, her background, how she became Quake, is going to be retconned because the Inhumans do no longer exist in the MCU. After Miss Marvel, spoilers if you haven't watched Miss Marvel, there are no more Inhumans, or there aren't any Inhumans. It's just mutants is where you're at now. So Chloe Bennett's going to be coming back as Quake for the MCU, but they're rewriting her background is what they're going to do, which I'm okay with. Although she's kind of a bad actress. So I don't know. Fail upwards, right? Is that what it is? Yeah. So, there have also been some updates as to when DCEU movies and HBO Max shows are going to be coming out. This is also the animated stuff, things of that nature. So, we know that DC's League of Super Pets is going to be released here at the end of this month on the 29th. I believe they're going to do the 45 days thing and bring it over to HBO Max at that point. Black Adam is going to be released on October 21st. We already knew that was coming. So I don't know if they're going to do the same switchover, 45 days with that. Shazam Fury of the Gods, Shazam number 2 is December 21st now. Yeah, so that's there. Batgirl is now going to be released sometime in 2022. They don't know when, but it's going to be on HBO Max now. So first it was supposed to be film, then it was going to be HBO Max, then it was going to be film again. Now it's back to HBO Max. So there you go. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom is going to be March 17th on St. Paddy's Day in 2023. And yes, I guess they are going to be releasing The Flash on June 23rd, 2023, depending on if they capture Ezra Miller on his multi-state spree that he's been going on. Blue Beetle is going to be released on August 18th, 2023. And then, of course, we have Harley Quinn. Season 3 is coming out July 28th. Yes, I am going to be covering that. And Wonder Woman 3 does not have a release date. Neither does the Batman 2 or the Penguins TV series on HBO Max, nor Peacemaker Season 2 or the Green Lantern Corps, for that matter, or Doom Patrol Season 4 or Titan Season 4 does not have, yeah. There's a lot of things that we have an unknown for at the moment because, of course, they are in the midst of a lot of culling going on, like I said. So there's a lot of stuff happening, a lot of movement around the DCEU. It's very chaotic, very, very, very chaotic there. Of course, we got a new trailer for House of the Dragon as well. I'm going to be honest with you. It bored me. They have it on HBO Max, so you can actually watch it. So I was watching it on my big screen with the sound and everything, and I started nodding off. And it's only like 3 minutes long. And it was like, 2:00 in the afternoon. So, yeah, we'll see how that plays out. I don't know how good or bad that's going to be, but man, I mean, Matt Smith needs a win. That's all I can say. Matt Smith has been in some pretty horrible shit lately, and he really needs a fucking win. Because if this isn't it, I don't know, man. I don't know if he's going to get hired back for anything else. So, yeah. What else do we have here? So going over to some movies now. Oh yeah, Mortal Kombat. The director Simon McQuoid, who directed the first Mortal Kombat one that went directly to HBO Max. He's coming on for the second one. He's just been hired back on again for that. So yeah. CBM says, luckily I've never been interested in Game of Thrones. Yeah, you are. Yeah, Matt Smith does deserve better. I like Matt Smith. He's actually a good actor, and he hasn't seemed to found the right role yet or the right project. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with him on that. And I don't know if this is going to work for him or not. Morbius certainly did not. Although I have to say he was the best thing in Morbius. Because he was doing some really weird shit that didn't fit anything else in the movie. So yeah, whatever. Ah, man. And hey, Penn, welcome. What else is there? There's a lot of stuff, like I said, coming out here. We got a new trailer for Sandman as well. I know we got that. That's coming to Netflix, and it's going to drop all at once on Netflix, which is just going to be horrible. So I'm just going to I'm doing an is it worth my time on that one? I've actually been planning things out for the next couple of months here, and August is going to be fucking insane for me. It really is. At one point, I'm going to have Resident Alien, She-Hulk, Andor, House of the Dragon, and I think there's one other thing. So I think there's 5 different things, and She-Hulk and Andor on the same night. They are released on Wednesday. So Go figure on that one. So yeah, um, August is going to be nuts, and I'm taking a week's vacation at the end of August. So yeah, I have to plan that out too. Ah, it's lots of fun. Um, that's a good majority of. Oh, Everything Everywhere All at Once is going to be returning to theaters with new footage, by the way. So they're going to have a new forward by one of the Daniels. That's who directed it, of course. And they're also going to have, I believe they said, like an extra 15 minutes of footage. Um, plus some like behind or blooper reels or something like that at the end. Yes, Raymond, I am going to cover Lord of the Rings, the Power of the Rings, or the Rings of Power. There we go, the Rings of Power. Even though the trailer did not wow me, I'm going to cover it as long as it's a weekly release. If it drops all at once, I'm just going to do an Is It Worth My Time? Because again, I can't find that information on IMDb. That's usually the place where they tell you it's going to come out, weekly, or if it's going to drop all at once, things of that nature. Like Harley Quinn right now, season 3, I can't tell if the first 2 episodes are dropping at once, or I think they're dropping on the same day, the first 2 episodes, and then after that it's going to be a weekly release. And then again, I don't know how many episodes of Harley Quinn we're getting. Last time we got 13 episodes for season 2. For season 3, I think it's going to be 13 episodes as well, but you never know. So again, trying to plan all this stuff out, as I'm saying. And same thing with Resident Alien. I don't know if there's going to be another break in the season, the second half of the season, kind of like they did where NBC Universal and Sci-Fi does some weird shit where they do breaks, mid breaks, kind of like the CW does too, where they'll show you like 3 episodes and they stop for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then they'll show you a couple more episodes and they stop again. And it's one of the more piss poor programming methods I've ever seen on a network TV. Oh. And yes, I love Harley as well. I am Gotham's reckoning. And we're gonna have more Bane in there too, which I thought was pretty fucking funny. I'm trying to think if there's anything else here. I don't see it. So I'm sure there's more news out there as well, but actually, you know what? I am going to try one other place real quick and we'll see what happens. Because usually there is. Keanu Reeves, of course, is turning Berserker, his comic, into a Netflix film. So we have that to look forward to as well, which is going to be lots and lots of fun. Oh God. Supposedly over at Comic-Con, Marvel and East Continental Gems have come together to make a real life gauntlet with real life gemstones in it, and it's going to be over $25 million. So if you have $25 million to spare, you too can buy yourself a jewel encrusted gauntlet. There you go. Oh man. Sometimes, you just kind of have to shake your head about that. So, the Teen Wolf, the movie trailer debuted, and that is going to be at on Paramount Plus is where that's going to come out. I don't know when that's coming out. They didn't really say. I remember I was looking for that information. I couldn't find it at one point. And no, it doesn't say. So there you go. Dungeons and Dragons, I already talked about. Deadpool. Oh, that's right. There's some big news here. So Kurt Russell and Wyatt Russell are going to be in the Apple TV Plus and Legendary's Godzilla series. So that's the Godzilla series that's going to be on Apple TV Plus, which is almost kind of making me want to do the free subscription for just that show alone. Uh, but I don't know. I'm still on the fence about it. But it is, Kurt Russell and his son Wyatt Russell. They're both going to be in that, which makes me kind of interested in that show right now. But anyway, yeah, there's that. Oh yeah, Christina Ricci is going to star as Harley Quinn in a podcast from Spotify. So she's going to be voicing Harley Quinn in that Spotify podcast. So those of you who are interested in that kind of stuff, you can go and see that. Where else are we? Quiet Place Day One, the prequel, pushes its release date back to 2024. If you're interested in that, that's going to be on March 8th, 2024 is when that's coming out. Like, we need another prequel to that. And of course, Halloween Ends with Jamie Lee Curtis. She returns for the final battle on October 14th. If those of you who are watching that are digging that, I'm not, but yeah. Raymond says, "Have you heard that that Batman mystery podcast? I forget what it's been called. Yeah, they put it on HBO Max, and I promptly fell asleep 5 minutes into it. Raymond, I tried, I really did, and it was just boring. It really was. It just bored the shit out of me, and I fell asleep during it. Go figure. So I don't do well with just talking. That's why I don't do audiobooks when I drive, because it's kind of dangerous for me. Um, and yeah, so it lulls me to sleep is really what it does. Um, yeah, audiobooks are not my friend. I have to read. Yeah, poor me. I know. Um, what else do we have here? Nothing else really. Oh, Adam Scott has joined Sony's Madam Web, which of course is a Spider-Man character that is getting its own movie again. Yeah. So, so. Oh, I also know somebody who's working on Secrets of the Mogwai, the animated HBO Max series, and they have said that they are midway through season 2, animating season 2 at this point. So obviously they've been greenlit for a season 2 as well at HBO Max, and are already working on that. So there you go. That is an easy way of that, I guess, is kind of a I don't know if that's an exclusive or not, but yeah, there you go. It pays to know somebody in the animation industry every now and then. But yeah, he just kind of threw that out as an aside. He's over at Comic-Con right now and kind of threw that out there, and I'm like, oh, well, that's some news for me. Thanks. So yeah, it's news that a lot of people don't get, I guess you can say, for themselves. Yes. Let me see if there's anything over at Deadline. I'm scrubbing through some of this stuff here. I'm gonna be saying a lot, but yeah, it's yeah, John Wick Chapter 4. The trailer was unveiled at Comic-Con with Keanu Reeves, of course, being there. Keanu Reeves at Hall H, of course, he's gonna be there. And that's when he was talking about Berserker as well. So that's why that was there. And that's all we have really on most of this stuff. Of course, Saturday is a big day. We're going to get a lot more stuff coming out from there. Yeah. For All Mankind, for those of you who like Apple TV Plus, it has a season 4 renewal from Apple. So there you go. They did a little thing over at Comic-Con as well. So they got that going for them. For those of you who are interested in that. That's up there as well. So yeah, Saturday most likely is going to be where like some of the bigger stuff comes out. Marvel is going to be keeping all their stuff close to the chest at the moment, and you're not going to hear anything until next month from D23. Warner Brothers most likely is going to, yeah, if I remember correctly, they do their stuff middle of the day on on Saturdays. So we'll get a whole slew of DCEU news coming out on Saturday tomorrow. And I'm trying to think of anybody else. Netflix, I believe, is going to be doing their run tomorrow as well. So you'll get like more Sandman stuff and anything else that they're doing that they haven't canceled already. Because again, Netflix, same thing like HBO Max, they're trying to recoup their losses and they're cutting a lot of shit. So that is the nature of the industry right now at the moment, unfortunately. And yes, that is all I've got there. No, that's it. So, what else is going on? Tomorrow I'm going to be off because it's Saturday, and like I said, just waiting for more news to accumulate from Comic-Con. Sunday I'll do. I don't know if I want to do it in the morning or if I want to wait till the afternoon. Usually Sunday's pretty dead at Comic-Con anyway. They do like the TV roundup thing on Saturday. Sunday's usually the kids' day, where they let the kids come in and they have kid centric shows and whatnot and panels, and they usually do the TV series like the CW will do their kind of stuff, and FX will try and run their stuff as well, like the Mayans or something like that. That doesn't make any sense being at Comic-Con, but they'll throw it in there anyway. So I'll probably do this same kind of podcast like this for Sunday, and instead of doing the Sunday edition of Saturday Morning Blast Off, I'll just do this kind of SDCC 2022 news on Sunday morning in its place. How does that sound? Monday, of course, will be Westworld. Westworld. That's right. Tuesday, actually, am I going to be doing that on Tuesday now? I know I switched up plans a little bit when I was looking at what I was going to be doing next week. Blah, 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 blah. If I can actually think of what I'm doing here. Yes, I don't know what I'm doing for Is It Worth My Time next week, but I will be doing something. Um, and then Gotham's Reckoning. Wednesday I'll be off. Thursday the 28th is going to be Harley Quinn season 3. That's when that starts. That's right. Harley Quinn season 3 is going to happen then. And then the 29th, which is going to be next Friday, I believe I'm going to be off as well. I know Paper Girls comes out that day on Amazon Prime, but they're going to release it all at once. Unfortunately, they're going to release Paper Girls all at once, so that's going to be an Is It Worth My Time for the next week after. And if you don't know what Paper Girls is, go and take a look at the trailer. It's sci-fi. It's actually time travel. 80s nostalgia, all that kind of stuff, and it's actually a really good. Brian K. Vaughan wrote the book, the comic on it. He's the guy who did Why the Last Man. Excellent writer. I've heard nothing but good things about the comic, so hopefully, if they do anything close to the comic, I'm sure that the series will be good as well. Yeah, Paper Girls does seem interesting. So the trailer's not giving anything away, which is good. It's kind of a surprise, but yeah. Raymond says, "Can you briefly tell me, is Westworld season 4 worth my time?" Um, Raymond, yes, it's better than season 3. And if you take a look at the last episode, what was it, episode 4? You take a look at the views have jumped on my channel here almost to 300 now on the last episode, because a lot of people are going back into it and they're like, holy shit, this is actually good. There is a time jump, I'm going to say that, but it's actually well done. um And I'm not going to go into the whole thing about who's a host and who's not. So all I'm going to say is that season 4 is better than season 3, story wise. Of course, there's got to be a time jump. Yeah. It's Westworld. Jonathan Nolan even says so if you stay till the end of the credits, you get to see, of course, for each episode, you'll see the trailer for the next episode. And then after that, they do like a little synopsis of what you just watched. And they're talking about the characters and the development and stuff like that and what's going on sometimes. And Jonathan Nolan in at the end of episode 4 goes, I like fucking with the audience. And he goes, the audience expects that for us to fuck with them. And I like fucking with the audience. And I'm like, obviously you're a motherfucker, but one, that's also funny too, because um, yeah, yeah, it's actually pretty fucking funny, but that he admits to it, one, and that they're just actively doing that and just fucking with the audience. And it moves along quickly. The story moves along a lot more quickly this time around. The first episode, you'll probably go, "What the fuck is happening?" But by the second episode, you're like, "Holy shit! I know what's happening." And then by the third episode, you're going, "What the fuck is happening?" But I like what it's happening. And then episode 4, you're going to go, "Holy shit! Okay, that's what's happening." That's just it in a nutshell, right there, Raymond. If that convinces you of watching it or not. That's everything in a nutshell that everyone's been talking about. And we've been having some pretty good discussions too and theories about what's been going on. So that's why I'm not doing it on Sunday night, because most of you guys on the East Coast are in bed by that point, and I'm doing the reviews of them on Monday. Is what I'm doing for Westworld now, even though I know it airs on Sunday night. It airs 6 o'clock my time, which means I wouldn't get done with it until 7 anyways, and 7:30ish, somewhere around there, which is 10:30 for you guys on the East Coast. And most of you are in bed because, of course, you got to work in the morning, that kind of stuff. And honestly, for me, pulling it right afterwards like that is kind of hard to do. Just to get my thoughts together and whatnot. I get to ruminate on it a little bit more by doing it on Mondays. And then, of course, I noodle it even further while I'm doing the podcast, which I guess sometimes works out. And people are liking what I'm doing, what I did in the last episode anyway. Of you know, stream of consciousness talking about stuff. Yeah. That's what I do most of my stuff here anyway. Me speak English well. Well, on that one I did, but oh man. All right. On that note, I'm gonna let you guys go for the rest of the night. Thank you to everybody who joined me tonight in the chat, and thank you if you made it this far in the rambly ass video. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, why would you be? Take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. YouTube takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible to one of the videos in my vast video library and pops it up here just for you. And if you like what you see there, hit that subscribe button down below there. And if you can, hit that like button, the share button as well. And if you want to know when I'm on live again next, go over to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule. I change it out every week. Also, I have all the links to my social media and all the links to my pages as well. Also, if you want to subscribe, there is a little icon someplace. I think it's right over here. A little tiny. I just saw it was a little tiny icon. That's also a subscribe button down there too. So, all right. Thank you, everybody. I will see you again on Sunday for more Comic-Con news. Until then, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, you may run into a Slave Leia cosplayer and he hasn't shaved his back. Uh, thanks, everybody. I will see you again on Sunday. Until then, stay safe, be well, take care, wash your ass. Also, get those vaccine shots, get the boosters as well. They don't work without the boosters. And keep those masks on, especially if you're in line at Comic-Con, man. Shit's rising out there, so stay safe. Thanks, everybody. I will see you again on Sunday. Have a good rest of your night. Take care, everyone. Good night.